Good morning, friends. It's Carrie from the Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine, and I'm joining you today from the Sam L. Cohen Children's Room, and we're going to have some stories, rhymes, and songs. And as we do every week, we're going to start with our word of the week. So let's see what it is. Vertical. Vertical means in an up and down position, upright. So let's sing our vertical song that our other friend Carrie taught us a couple of years ago. We'll do it 2 times. Ready? Horizontal, horizontal, vertical, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, diagonal. So let's do it again together this time, okay? Ready? Horizontal, horizontal, vertical, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, diagonal. Great, good job, friends. Vertical is the word of the week. And we share this word of the week with lots of people around town. And you can share it with your friends, family, classmates, and you can use the word every time you see something vertical, like a tree or a building. What else do you see around you that might be vertical? Okay, so we can start with our first book. And our first book is called North, South, East, and West, and it's by Margaret Wise Brown and pictures by Greg Pizzoli. And this book is published by Harper, an imprint of HarperCollins. North, South, East, West. Once there was a little bird all tucked away into her nest. It was almost time for her to fly away. Her mother taught her to ride the wind and fly above and below the storms, and to glide on the strength of the wind. And then they would fly home to their nest in the sycamore tree, and she would sing her song. And the little bird would ask, "When I fly away, which is best? North, south, east, or west?" Her mother curved her head under her wing and put her other wing over her little bird. And the hush of the evening fell. The crickets sang their cricket song. And the little bird dreamed from the warmth of the nest of the north and the south and the east and the west. In the bright light of the rising sun, she stretched her little wings and flew. And she flew on the wind to the north, to the land of ice and snow, where everything was white. But it was too cold for the little bird to build her nest, and so she flew around the North Pole and headed south, till the sea was blue and the trees were green and the thickets were full of flowers. But it was too hot to build a nest, so the little bird rested, and then she headed west, over mountains and rivers and plains, where the red sun sank into the sea. She had flown to the north and the south and the west, but which direction did she like best? She sat on a rock by the edge of the sea and thought of her home in the sycamore tree. She had flown to the north and the south and the west, but the east was home. So she stretched her wings and flew into the rising sun. Over the high mountains, over the deep canyons, Over the great forests and plains she flew. Till she came to the land, to where the land was soft and green with rain, and the sycamore trees grew tall. In the spring, when the wild birds sing in the wild green forests of the east, the little bird, a big bird now, sang to her eggs the song her mother had sung to her, till her little birds cracked out of their shells. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 little birds cracking out of their shells. And they opened their beaks and said, when we fly away, which is best, north, south, east, or west? The end. Okay, friends, next we have a flannel board. Should we see what's in the flannel board today? Oh, it's bluebirds! Yay! Should we see how many bluebirds we have? Let's count them together, okay? Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 little bluebirds. Should we count it backwards, take them away, and start our flannel board? Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and none. 0 bluebirds. Okay, here we go. 1 little bluebird. Ready? 1 little bluebird, up she flew. Along came another, and that makes 2. 2 little bluebirds sitting in a tree. Along comes another, and that makes 3. 3 little bluebirds sitting on a door. Along comes another, and that makes 4. 4 little bluebirds feeling so alive. Along comes another, and that makes 5. 5 little bluebirds. Let's count them just to make sure. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little bluebirds had a lovely day. They sang a pretty song, and then they flew away. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and now none. 0 bluebirds. Bye-bye, bluebirds. Okay, so we just had bluebirds, and I think next let's read a book about pumpkins, because it's autumn and fall leaves are falling and pumpkins and squashes are ripening. So this is a book called Pumpkins by Ken Robbins, and this book is a Neil Porter book for Rolling Brook Press. At that time of year when the air has turned cool, the corn stalks have turned brown, and the leaves are falling, splashing their color on the ground. And the geese are flying and the crows are calling from the empty fields. It seems there are pumpkins everywhere. But the story of the pumpkin begins in the spring, when the farmer plants her seeds in the ground. The first small leaves come up in 10 days or so, and in just a few weeks the vines spread out and the flower buds begin to grow. The buds open up and the flowers appear. What color are they? They're not orange like the pumpkins, they're yellow. At the base of a flower, the pumpkin begins to grow. It's green at first, but it soon changes color. There it's green and it's starting to change. At the height of summer, Full-size pumpkins are hidden among the vines. As the summer passes, the vines are cleared away and the patchwork of pumpkins can be seen on the ground. They're all spread out now and they're big and orange. Pumpkins grow in any number of colors and shapes and sizes, but the ones we know best are bright orange and more or less round. But many kinds are yellow, tan, green, or even blue. Some are round, but some of them are kind of flattened or squashed, you might say. Some are so small they fit in your hand. Others are impossibly huge. Wow! People hold contests to see who can grow the biggest ones. The gigantic pumpkin on the forklift weighs over 1,000 pounds. Many farmers will let you go out in the fields and pick your own pumpkin right off the vine. You must pay for it first, of course, and then you take it home. For Halloween, it's traditional to carve your pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern. You'll need a pen or a marker that erases easily. Draw a happy or scary face, whatever you like, and then get an adult to cut around the top with a saw or a knife. What happens next? Ooh, remove the top, and with your hands or a scoop, you can scrape out the guts. Inside, the seeds are wet and the wet membrane that holds them. Then get an adult to cut out the eyes, nose, and mouth. Once the jack-o'-lantern is carved, put it on your steps at night or in your window or in some other safe place and put a candle inside and light it. It will look quite nice. And now you can get candles that are just battery powered so you don't have to worry about them being a flame. On Halloween, everyone dresses up for trick-or-treat. Some people do. Ghosts and ghouls walk the streets and pumpkins are part of the scene. By November, the pumpkins are mostly gone, picked for jack-o'-lanterns or pumpkin pie. The few that are left will die on the vine, eaten by animals, or left to rot. Their seeds will survive, at least some of them will, to make more pumpkins the following year. Lots of animals love to eat pumpkins. The end. That was great. So, before we do our final book, thought we would do one finger rhyme. That's my favorite, I'm sure you know, but it's about something going up and down in a vertical way. What do you think it might be? Itsy bitsy spider. That's right. Okay, are we ready? The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Ready? The big hairy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the big hairy spider went up the spout again. The teeny tiny spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the teeny tiny spider went up the spout again. Yay! Okay, friends, last story for today. Another Apples and Pumpkins. Apples and Pumpkins by Anne Rockwell. Pictures by Lizzie Rockwell. And this book is a Simon & Schuster book for young readers. When red and yellow leaves are on the trees, we go to the Comstock farm to pick apples and pumpkins. Mr. Comstock gives us a bushel basket to put our apples in. Geese and chickens and a big fat turkey walk with us on our way to the orchard where the apples grow. My father picks apples. My mother does too. I climb into a little apple tree and pick the reddest apples of all. When our basket is full of red and shiny apples, we go to the field where the pumpkins grow. I look and look until I find the best pumpkin of them all. My father cuts it from the vine, I carry it back to the car. At home, we carve a jack-o'-lantern face on our big orange pumpkin. We put a candle inside and light it, and now our pumpkin looks scary and funny too. On Halloween night, we put our pumpkin on the doorstep. My mother gives away lots of red and shiny apples for trick-or-treat, while I go trick-or-treating up and down our street. Apples and pumpkins. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends, for our word of the week, vertical, and some stories and songs and rhymes about birds and apples and pumpkins and spiders and all things fall. This is Carrie saying, see you next time.